So still more than a month away from Inauguration Day on January the 20th, and yet President-elect Donald Trump is already taking some serious heat for not doing things as they have been done in the past. Michael Goodwin, columnist at the New York Post, writes this is the Trump era of disruption, saying, quote, "The whole world looks to be having a nervous breakdown over his early actions, and many Americans are wondering if the wheels are about to come off the Trump train. Some on the left, including those in the White House, certainly hope so. Still, the good news is that they hope and scheme in vain. Trump," he writes, "shows no signs of going wobbly. And while he doesn't always keep calm, he does carry on." So with an evaluation of how things are going so far, Michael Goodwin joins us now. Good to see you there.
Thank you,
sir. You know, he's put himself out there so much as a president-elect.
Right.
In a way that people have not in the past, necessarily. We're watching the whole transition process as it moves in and out of Trump Tower. So has he sort of asked for this scrutiny before he takes office?
Look, I think this is par for the course with Donald Trump. I mean, he's a showman. He's the Trump Tower auditions, really. It's like a casting call. People go in and out, and they've got to stop and talk to the press. And Bill Gates the other day, comparing him to JFK after his meeting, it's almost as though when they come out of there, they have to say something nice. Al Gore, Kanye West, everybody says something nice. People you wouldn't think would have anything nice to say about them.
Right?
Yeah, it's brilliant, right?
On that regard, it's brilliant because he's got the press all set up there, and you come downstairs, and if you just walk by them and don't say anything, it's going to be, you know, the story will be, gee, I guess that didn't go well, right? So for both sides, it behooves them to say something positive as they come out the door. It's truly fascinating to watch all of it play out. You say in a way he reminds you of Ed Koch, who we New Yorkers remember quite well, but for those in the rest of the country,
well, look,
why so?
Koch was a great disruptor himself. He enjoyed the headlines. He enjoyed stirring the pot. And he once said in one of his books, I don't give ulcers. I don't get ulcers. I give them. And Trump is like that. He enjoys this. I think he enjoys driving his opponents crazy. And look, substantively, he is a great disruptor. He is going to change the way everything is being done. He's changed political campaigns probably permanently, the way he ran and won despite not spending the most money, despite just being out there himself, not having a huge ground game, but just working to death the issues and being everywhere in front of huge crowds of people, having momentum, starting a movement. Look, I think that the government, you have the major media, you have the leaders really of both parties, you have the big businesses. There is a status quo that people want to protect. And I don't think Donald Trump is trying to blow up the world, but he's really trying to significantly change it. And that is not easy because there are a lot of people who are invested in the status quo. They want to keep things as they are. They like the gravy train they're on. He wants to take them off that train.
You can see them sputtering and sort of spinning around as this goes on. But there is no doubt, even though people on both sides of the aisle will come out of the Tower lobby and say things went really well, there's plenty of indicators out there that there's going to be relentless action against him.
Sure.
They will try to make sure that he cannot complete any of these things to the greatest of their ability.
Well, and we should not underestimate the difficulties ahead, even without the obstacles that people will throw, the legal obstacles over the environment, as you just reported on, things like that. There will be, these are very difficult problems. If they were easy problems, they would have been solved already when it comes to the economy, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to immigration. It's not as though nobody else tried to fix them before or even didn't care about them. This country has cared about these things, but didn't have the proper solutions. So he's got fresh ideas. Now to implement them is not going to be a miracle. It's going to be hard work, day in, day out, building coalitions, building support. And that's why I think it's really important, Martha, that he stay in touch directly with the public. I think this thank you tour is a stroke of genius. I think he should continue doing that because it is his way of dealing with reluctant Republicans and Democrats and the activists on both wings. He's got to keep the majority of the Americans behind him and get their support and keep them pushing the other politicians as well.
Yeah, I mean, in the old days, you had no choice but to be in the room with the populace all the time, everywhere you went as president, and he puts himself in that room when he goes to these rallies, and he gets pressed on things like the wall and the issues that he promised when he's there. So it's a fascinating thing to watch, and you document it so effectively for us with your columns. Thank you very much, Michael.
My
Good
pleasure.
to see you as always.